This week on IMSA, The Road to Racing, we learn about the manufacturers who make the machines that do battle from Daytona Beach to Monterey, California. The companies and the individuals behind them who support and compete in IMSA sports car racing. So, fasten your seatbelt because it's time to go sports car racing. IMSA Sports Car Racing is home to some of North America's most exciting wheel-to-wheel on-track action. But the premier form of endurance sports car racing in the United States also is a proving ground and a marketing platform that allows the biggest names in the automotive industry to come and showcase their passion and emotion for the cars they make, as well as displaying the technical advancements auto manufacturers are making in their vehicles year after year. This unique worldwide stage is for more than just the automotive brands that compete on track, though. Household names such as WeatherTech, Michelin, Konica Minolta, Axalta, Motul, and VP Racing Fuels are international companies that do business around the world who have recognized the value that partnering with IMSA Sports Car Racing can bring. From the massive TV audience to the at-track presence, brands like Mazda, Porsche, BMW, and Chevrolet gain engagement through their involvement in IMSA racing unlike any other marketing avenue out there available to those companies today. IMSA puts on a show that captures the imagination and steals the hearts of its fans every single weekend. The races are a visceral experience. From the smell of the burning rubber to the screaming sound of the cars flying by, IMSA races are contested rain or shine, night and day, and to an audience of hundreds of thousands of race fans who are full of desire to learn more about the sport and the companies that support this great racing.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is the top level of sports car competition in North America. Premier manufacturers and world-class drivers come here to compete for the top spot on the podium. Two styles of cars, prototype and grand touring, make up the Series 4 classes. DPI, the fastest and most technologically advanced sports cars in North America. The Daytona Prototype International is specifically designed and engineered for the racetrack. DPI cars use chassis built to international specifications, powered by engines from mainstream automotive manufacturers like Acura, Cadillac, Mazda, and Nissan. In addition, DPI bodywork includes styling cues that align with these engine manufacturers. LMP2. The Le Mans Prototype 2 is a closed cockpit car developed by 4 approved constructors. In addition to the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, LMP2 cars are eligible to compete in other global series, such as the FIA World Endurance Championship, which includes the prestigious 24 Hours of Le Mans. GT Le Mans. Utilizing the same technical regulations as the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the GT LM cars are the most elite and fastest GT cars on the track. Based on production models, they are engineered to extract the maximum performance possible. The class serves as a true proving ground for leading manufacturers such as BMW, Corvette, Ferrari, Ford, and Porsche. GTD. The GT Daytona cars incorporate enhanced technology and utilize the global FIA GT3 specification. The GTD class consists of cars from leading manufacturers such as Acura, Audi, BMW, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Lexus, Mercedes-AMG, and Porsche. These 4 classes competing together make the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship the most diverse and competitive sports car racing on the planet.
Since Corvette was developed, it had always been called America's sports car. Our goal in racing was to make Corvette become the world's sports car. We knew that we wanted to get Corvette not just to that level, but so that it rose above that level.
Corvette is a cultural icon in the United States of America. Program manager and leader of Corvette Racing, Doug Feehan, tells us about his mission to elevate Corvette status through racing with IMSA.
The things that make Corvette fans so passionate about it is A, the success we have achieved on a global basis with 8 Le Mans victories, okay? And number 2, the engineering staff at Corvette that has been able to develop the world's best sports car and done it at a price that was attainable for a far larger audience than would be a Ferrari or a Porsche. A new Z06, C7 Z06, to buy a production-based sports car that will out-accelerate it, will out-corner it, and will outstop it, you have to spend over $1 million. So when you look at the Corvette value versus the other cars have prestigious names and are wonderful machines. But when you can buy the performance level of Corvette, have it look the way it does, have it ride the way it does, get the fuel economy it gets, be able to put golf clubs in the back, price, performance, and utility, there is no car in the world that equals Corvette. That is why our fans have the passion, because once they buy them, they love them.
Known as the luxury brand of the Japanese auto giant Honda, Acura is a mainstay in IMSA WeatherTech sports car competition. Former IMSA president Scott Atherton toured the Acura Performance Manufacturing Center in Marysville, Ohio.
We've had an opportunity today to see inside the inner workings of Acura, how the cars are built. The fact that the Acura NSX is a car not only assembled but designed, engineered, and assembled completely in the United States. I don't think very many people realize that.
One of the other things too that we touched on earlier, we were talking about the creme de la creme of the people that we have working here. When we had this factory open, we only had about 125 spots to fill. It was open to anyone inside the company. We had almost 5,000 people apply just to get into those 125 spots. So when we say we have the best of the best in their respective fields, we definitely do.
I've been with Honda for 30 years.
32 and a half years. Best of the best. That's the best.
That was an amazing thing to see at the NSX factory right here in Ohio. Just the amount of detail and effort that's put into each and every NSX that goes out a lot. I mean, where other cars, they're building hundreds a day, it takes over a month to finish one.
Every Acura NSX in the world is made in that same facility right here in America, in Ohio, so it's pretty special. And you see the attention to detail, the advanced robotics that are at work there, and all the quality control that they go through to ensure everything's perfect. So really, really impressive and a lot of fun.
To really see how the cars are made is incredible. You don't realize how much hand work is really done, you know what I mean? How the whole car is built and treated and painted and everything, it's unbelievable.
It just makes you really proud to be a part of Team Acura.
Even got to hit the button on one of the robots and weld one together there. So I keep saying that one's mine because I helped to build it. So still waiting to see that one.
The other overriding element that I think we've seen throughout both the car assembly, the engines, the technology, is the direct link of road car technology and race car technology being one and the same.
Justin Marks had an incident in practice that was huge, and to even get this car back out here is a miracle.
I get a phone call that says, hey, we need all these parts. We need them overnight. So luckily we had a whole front clip sitting down in our repair area, so I was able to cut it apart, just take the section they needed and FedExed it to Sebring. They welded it on overnight and put it back on the track the next day, and it ran fine.
The 93 Acura leads from the 48. All that hard work has put that car back on the grid. It started dead last, and it's 1.7 seconds ahead of the rest of the GTD field.
The way these cars are assembled, the way the engines are assembled, there's no difference between the car that's intended for somebody's driveway or the garage at home and the car that's intended to go to Michael Shank Racing to go compete in the WeatherTech Championship. I would say we're proud to have a company like this and cars like this competing with us as well.
Hi, I'm Trent Hinman, driver of the number 86 Acura NSX GT3 Evo in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship with Meyer-Shank Racing. I'm going to show you a little bit of the differences between the Acura NSX Street Car and the Acura NSX GT3 Evo that I drive in the GTD category. So now we're looking at the NSX GT3 Evo. I say Evo because it's a new update kit for 2019. So definitely some differences in terms of drivability. That all mainly comes from aerodynamic performance, and that's really the major difference. Apart from that hybrid system that we have in the street car, at least with the race car, we have a tremendous amount of downforce. Huge dive planes on the front, huge splitter, big under tray and diffuser, big rear wing. That's all been enlarged for 2019 by Acura, by Honda Performance Development, in order to give us drivers some more performance on the racetrack. I mean, apart from that, really the biggest differences between these two cars are safety equipment, right? So we have a full roll cage, full carbon fiber shell seat. The cockpit's all meant to be very safe, up to FIA specification for safety. But apart from that, in terms of chassis, all mechanical components, there's some minor differences, but mainly it's all based on what you're going to get on the street with the brand new 2019 Acura NSX. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the small tour between the new 2019 Acura NSX and the 2019 Acura NSX GT3 Evo race car. Again, I'm Trent Hinman. Thanks for coming along with me.
We said, let's bring the Ford GT back. It gives us the opportunity for innovation, for EcoBoost technology, for lightweighting, for aerodynamics, some things that we can learn on a car like this and apply the learnings from that across all of our mainstream road cars and proving it out on the racetrack as well.
I'll bring you into the main assembly area. Total in here, we got about 160 employees. Here, this is true craft build, so they're special people.
Impressive.
A lot of what's in this road car is there in service of the race car.
The DNA of each example is one and the same.
Yeah.
Would you say that the road-going version is a street legal race car?
Yeah, no, okay, I would say that. This is the most important station. So station 6, we fit all the bodywork, flush, margin it, and then it's got a special system that allows it all to be taken off, and that stuff all goes for paint, and it takes 8 days. This is a hand-painted car.
From the start?
Hand-painted car.
Wow. Poster I saw coming down the hall was
They're
the
all
first
different.
100.
Yeah.
Of the first 100, no two alike.
Yeah. The really cool thing, this is a 2,000 horsepower absorption dyno. We put the car up on there, and then we run it up through a speed range and make sure that we have the 650 advertised horsepower.
So track mode in this car is more than the little symbol on the dashboard.
Oh yeah. The car has completely 2 different characteristics. It has its road car mode, which is feels like the competitive set, and then it has a track mode that makes it angry.
Just to touch on something that's not nearly as sophisticated, but no less impressive.
Oh yeah.
These headlights. What's up with that?
That's art. I would have to say probably the most impressive looking headlight in the industry came from the Ford Design Studio.
Things we've learned in optimizing a Ford GT on the racetrack have become turbo improvements we've been able to implement in Raptor off-road performance in Baja. Anti-lag is a great technology that allows us to keep the power on when the customer needs it. That's just as important in the desert as it is for a Ford GT on the racetrack.
We've got a great car, both on the road and on the track. So we'll do everything that we can with these and then start looking to the future.
This is the best thing I've ever done. So
it's almost a mic drop moment for Larry
Yeah,
Hull.
it might be the time to retire,
Don't do it.
Okay.
GT Le Mans is the upper echelon of GT racing around the world. Richard Westbrook explains what makes GT Le Mans racing, as well as his team, Ford Chip Ganassi Racing, so special.
GT Le Mans is one of the top categories in the whole of motorsport worldwide. And the reason for that is it's not private teams fighting each other. It's it's manufacturers, it's factory cars, factory drivers. So we're racing against the best that Porsche got, the best that Ferrari got. I mean, it's an incredible championship. There's more manufacturers in this championship than there is in Formula One. It's more than LMP1, so it's exciting times in GT Le Mans, and it's really exciting for a driver to be part of that. Everyone asks me what's so successful about Chip Ganassi Racing, what stands out, and to me there's not one thing that really stands out. They just do everything right. It's the minor detail, all the small things they get right, and it's you just have to look at their history and their record. It's second to none, and it needs a big team like Chip Ganassi to do this kind of project. So we're so confident on that side of it that we're with the right team, we've got the right guys behind us, and I think what Chip Ganassi does, he brings out the best in you as an individual, and he wants you to be performing at 100%, and 99% isn't good enough.
Porsche, another victory at Sebring. Those glorious sounding Porsches ahead. A win for Porsche. The 911, Nick Tandy wins for Porsche.
We are here at the spectacular Porsche Experience Center. What should I expect when I come here?
There is something for everyone. This is Mecca for any type of enthusiast of the brand. We have a fleet of 77 cars that you can do a drive experience and really push your skill. We want to make sure you get out on the track, right? Because who doesn't need a little drive time? And you might be a little familiar with some guy named Patrick Long.
I've heard of him.
You've heard of him? He might also have a little something in store for you later today.
Well, let's go.
Go ahead and climb on in.
That's a cockpit if there ever was one.
This is the cockpit.
Contact. Sounds healthy. Let's get busy.
Yes, let's get busy. Big throttle here. Tap the brake here. Turn in, nice and wide. Accelerate. They're going to let you ride. On the left side. And accelerate. And 520 horsepower feels good.
When it gets after it, gets after it in a big way.
The way this was designed intentionally was to really, if you weren't awake already, I'm sure you're awake now.
I guess that's what the Porsche Experience Center is all about, is giving people the opportunity to have this type of experience and therefore instantly have an appreciation for what the guys are doing on the track.
It's a little intimidating in the wet.
Yeah.
But
it's full test.
What a car.
My goodness.
I hope we're going the right way.
Yeah, me too. So kids, don't try this at home.
Let's see if we can do it right here.
What's the key to a really fast lap?
Replicating consistency.
That's always been Porsche's claim to fame, is just relentless reliability.
The parallels between what we try to produce with the car and what the driver has to produce as a product of the brand, they're very much in parallel.
Compared to a true racing lab, what you can experience here?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, we start with the same base chassis.
In a Porsche, there is no substitute. In your mind, what makes that such a true statement?
I think there's no substitute for the emotional connection to driving one of these machines. It's burned into your mind. I remember being a kid and hearing one of my friend's dads come home in a G-Body 80s Targa, and the sound of that engine and the essence of him pulling in the driveway. It was just success. It was cool. It was design, function, engineering.
Brings new meaning to rear-wheel drive.
How was that?
That's some serious car.
You made it all the way. One lap. Well, thanks for the trust.
That was impressive, man. Really impressive. Car and driver.
I promise you, I haven't been here before.
Seriously? First laps?
time. Yep, first time.
Thank you, Patrick.
As Jörg says, they pay me not to go sideways, so when we get the chance to go sideways, we have to take that.
It's true fun. Drifting.
He's alive.
The reasons and benefits of competing in IMSA are plentiful. Daniel Armbruster of Porsche describes why and how the German auto brand has been a part of IMSA for so many years.
IMSA is for us a very important platform for our GT activities. So we are active in the GTLM with our RSR and in the GTD class with our GT3R. The RSR is more a factory supported program, and GTD are customers which were supported by Porsche Motorsports North America. The platform is on a very high level, and in America probably the highest level here in America, and it's also the tip of our motorsports pyramid. So at the top level we have the GT racing with IMSA, and below that we have our one makes, and the foundation is our very large Porsche Club of America with more than 130,000 members, and lots of these customers and racers were transferred within the different steps up to the GTD class, and some of them probably to the GTLM class. So in our motorsports department we are developing obviously race cars, but also the GT cars, and the GT3, GT3 RS, GT2 RS, very exciting street cars. And the reason for developing these cars in motorsports is to bring the engineers very close together so that they can share their ideas and experiences, and lots of technologies which are invented by the racing division are transferred also to the GT cars, and from there to the standard street cars.
The BMW 8 Series moniker has been on a hiatus since the late 90s, and as it was decided to bring it back with this new 2019 BMW 8 Series Coupe that's launching later this year, it was right around the same time that BMW Motorsport was looking for a new flagship race car, and the M8 just gave us the perfect platform as a race car to build a car that could compete here in the GTLM class of the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship, as well as allow us to make our return in the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
Automotive manufacturers can learn so much about their own product by competing in IMSA races. Victor Leloup explains what BMW has learned about their M8 program from competing.
You continuously learn things on the racetrack that you can later apply to the street car, and it's still very much the case today. You know, when you go back in time, how we, for instance, tested ABS with the 3-liter CSL back in the 70s on the track, and then, you know, deployed the technology on the street. Maybe, you know, in a day of electric engines and hybrid technologies, it doesn't seem like we're making such leaps from track to street. And what we're learning with the motor of this BMW M8 GTE is lessons that we can then reapply to the street version of the car that uses certain key components of the engines issued from the street car already, like in the track car. So yes, we're still learning continuously, and what you see happen on the track is certainly a promise for what we can then deliver on the street. To put it very simply, racing is in the DNA of BMW. The best example I can give, particularly here in North America, is that 2 weeks after BMW of North America was founded, BMW won the 12 Hours of Sebring in 1975 with the 3-liter CSL. And BMW has a very rich history of racing, different types of products, a lot of GT cars, a lot of touring cars, a lot of cars inspired by cars that exist in the showroom and that customers can then buy and drive on the street every day. And we have built the ultimate driving machine claim around our racing program. This has been the very first marketing campaign of BMW in North America and has been ongoing ever since. So to us, every time we put our car on track, we go out and we revalidate this ultimate driving machine claim. It's a promise to our customers that what they will feel at the wheel of their street car BMW has been tested and has been proved on the racetrack.
IMSA racing is full of variety that can be experienced firsthand by attending any one of the dozen races put on throughout North America. Newly named IMSA President John Doonan explains.
One of the beauties of endurance sports car racing is the variety. GT cars from 18 different manufacturers, prototypes, both Daytona Prototype Internationals and international battles between Cadillac and Acura and Mazda, as well as the LMP2 category. One of the challenges of variety classes is the balance of performance. The challenges of drivers navigating in the traffic, using that in strategic ways to advance their position or keep competitors behind them. The technical team has a very difficult challenge managing the different aerodynamic configurations of the cars, the different engine configurations. So the excitement and the variety also creates many challenges, but when you see that ultimate show, when you see the last few laps of these races, even after 24 hours, coming down to the final corners and the excitement that it creates for those of you watching, we appreciate that and we hope you do as well. Come see us at an event here in the States. We have terrific events, whether it's the Rolex 24 at Daytona, the Petit Le Mans at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta, or Long Beach. For those who aspire to be a participant, 30 years ago, as a little boy watching IMSA, it was the best drivers in the world, in the best sports cars in the world, at the best racetracks in the world, competing head-to-head in major competitions. We have that today. We have drivers aspiring to be part of that. We are excited about that. But at the same time, there's another generation to come that we hope will aspire to be part of that, dream to be a success in IMSA at the highest levels, whether it's in prototype categories, Daytona Prototype International, whether it's in GT Le Mans, or GT Daytona. We have the platforms, we have the manufacturers, and we have the most beautiful race cars in the world.
We hope you've enjoyed learning a bit more about just a few of the manufacturers who make IMSA racing what it is. Be sure to keep up with all things IMSA by following IMSA Racing on social media. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you down the road.